Ms. Sykes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Ranking Member Napolitano, for convening this hearing today. And I also echo my adoration for the Ranking Member's leadership and support on water quality issues. To our witnesses, thank you for your testimony. I definitely appreciate hearing this conversation. I felt a little triggered, if you will, talking about rivers on fire in East Palestine and all that's been happening in Ohio. And we are certainly in need of your services and are grateful and thankful for the services that you all provide and your attention to the heart of it all, Ohio, and particularly Northeast Ohio, which is the heartbeat of the heart of it all, if you will. I represent Ohio's 13th congressional district, and our largest city is Akron. It's my hometown, and since 2009, our city has been operating under a consent decree pursuant to an agreement with the EPA as well as the Department of Justice. And over the past 15 years, our city has poured hundreds of millions of dollars into investments into our clean water infrastructure due to a combined sewer flow that has failed over the years. We have received significant support from the Clean Water State Revolving Fund for low interest and no interest loans, but our residents, and particularly in the city of Akron and those surrounding communities who are serviced, have seen the cost of their sewer bills rise 2, 3, 4, 500% because of the lack of affordable financing for this particular project. And so the brunt of this lack of clean water infrastructure has been borne by people in my district, in my community, my neighbors, myself, honestly. And it is why this legislation is so important, the bipartisan infrastructure law, and I just want to say thank you and applaud my colleagues who supported it in the last administration, last Congress, and voted for its passage. So getting to the point of water affordability, and Ms. Fox, this question is directed towards you. Many communities are like my district in my hometown who are bearing the brunt of poor water infrastructure, yet we know how important it is to the quality of life, to our health, to our well-being. Having this very important second hearing about the budget and knowing that many of your products and the programs are under fire if they're not funded fully. What does that mean to you as you're administering these projects, these grants, these loans, if we don't fund them fully, and how will constituents like mine continue to be impacted?
Well, thank you so much for the question, Congresswoman. And I just have to begin by thanking you for being such a tremendous partner to the EPA around the situation in East Palestine. You've been just a fierce advocate for your constituents, and the work that the federal government has been trying to do and the state to try to make progress there for the people is in very large part because of your commitment. So thank you for that. And thank you for raising this issue of water affordability. You know, the sad reality is that there are too many Akrons around the country. There are many older industrial cities, especially in the Midwest and Northeast, that face these water affordability challenges. That's why this is not the time to cut our budget for water infrastructure, because that will only make it harder for communities like Akron to find affordable funding and financing programs. So it would lead to greater rates. It would lead, frankly, to challenges for states, tribes, territories, and local governments, because 85% of the EPA's budget goes to states, tribes, territories, and local governments. It's not our budget, it's the people's budget, truly. And on Akron, one thing that we would be pleased to do is in the Office of Water, we have a water infrastructure center, a financing center. And what that center does is work with communities like Akron to make sure that they're aware of and fully accessing the range of funding and financing programs that we have at EPA, but that also other agencies have to support investment. And so, Congressman, we'd be happy. I understand that there's a new mayor in Akron, and so we would be happy to follow up with the mayor and with your office to make sure that they are plugged into all of these opportunities.
Thank you. And really quickly before my time expires, Dr. Bernstein, I do want to recognize and thank your department for coming into East Palestine so quickly and acknowledging the threat that so many people had and so many concerns that people had. I don't represent East Palestine, but as we know, water knows no jurisdictional boundaries. And knowing that we had a good partner in the federal government on site, very quickly answering questions, thinking of the children's health. That was the one question that we heard over and over. Again, just want to say thank you and applaud you for the work that you do on behalf of the Ohio's 13th Congressional District in Northeast Ohio. Thank you, Mr. Chair. You're back.